All right, let's talk about Liverpool. Because how on earth does a team that's basically at war with its biggest star go into one of the toughest stadiums in Europe and pull off a massive, maybe even season-defining win? It's a total paradox, and it's what's happening at the club right now.
So, how do you even begin to make sense of this? Well, you've got two completely different stories happening all at once. On the one hand, you've got this absolutely incredible, gritty Champions League performance. And on the other, an open, public war between the new manager and a club legend, Mo Salah.
Okay, so first up, let's just talk about the result itself. Because this wasn't just any win, this was a massive statement. A win they pulled off against all the odds, with all this incredible pressure building up inside the club.
So picture this, the legendary San Siro stadium. Liverpool comes in and delivers what everyone's calling a classic European away performance. You know the type. They were solid, they were super patient, and then boom, they grab a late 1-0 win that just completely silences the home crowd and, honestly, puts the rest of Europe on notice.
And to put this into perspective, look at this number, 18. Get this, that's how many games Inter Milan had gone without a loss at home in Europe. 18! So Liverpool didn't just win a match. They stormed a fortress and broke this incredible streak.
And believe me, this was a tense, dramatic game. It was a real nail-biter. Early on, Liverpool thought they'd scored, but VAR chalked it off for a handball. Then, Inter's whole game plan gets thrown out the window when they lose two key players to injury before halftime. The whole thing comes down to the wire, the 88th minute, when Liverpool gets a penalty after another VAR check. Just classic drama.
But here's the real kicker. Who takes the guy who's usually their star penalty taker, Mohamed Salah, isn't even in the country. So up steps Dominik Szoboszlai. And with all that pressure, he just calmly slots it home. He literally stepped into the exact role Salah would normally own, and maybe, just maybe, gave us a little glimpse into the future of this team's leadership. Okay, so now let's switch gears and talk about all that off-pitch drama, because this showdown between the star player and the new manager has spiraled into a full-blown public crisis.
So here's the backstory. After getting benched for 3 league games in a row, Mo Salah gives this absolutely explosive interview. He says he has, and I quote, no relationship with the manager, Arne Slot. And then he drops this bombshell. It feels like the club has thrown me under the bus. I mean, wow.
And how did the manager respond? Well, it was swift, it was cold, and it was unbelievably blunt. Reports say the only thing Slot said to Salah after that interview was, "You're not traveling with us." That's it. A clear line in the sand had been drawn.
And it seems like the dressing room is picking a side. Players, big names like Alisson Becker, have actually come out publicly and backed the manager. They're framing Salah's being dropped not as some personal punishment, but as a necessary consequence of his actions. They're all talking about the need for unity.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of the conflict. It's so much more than just two big personalities butting heads. You know, from Salah's perspective, he's a club legend, an icon, and he feels completely disrespected. But from Slot's point of view, this is all about setting the tone. He's a new manager trying to establish his authority. And a non-negotiable standard, no single player is bigger than the team.
Okay, so that win in Milan, it looks even more incredible when you start to look at who wasn't even on the pitch for Liverpool. I mean, this team was stretched to its absolute breaking point.
I mean, just run through the list of who was missing. You've got key attackers like Cody Gakpo and Federico Chiesa out. The midfield is missing the stability of Wataru Endo. The defense is without Frimpong. And then you throw the whole Mo Salah drama on top of that. It's just wild. They basically traveled to the San Siro with a patched-up squad, and somehow, they got the job done.
And here is the really crucial context. This whole drama, it's not happening in a vacuum. While this public feud is raging on, behind the scenes, the club's recruitment team is already planning for the future. They're making moves that are a huge signal that a major squad overhaul is on the way. And yeah, that means a future that might not include their Egyptian king. And we're not talking small moves here. They're targeting some of the hottest talents in Europe. You hear Desiré Doué's name being thrown around as a potential €150 million replacement for Salah. And at the same time, they're looking to beef up the defense with guys like Marc Guéhi and Wilfried Singo. So make no mistake, this isn't just about plugging a few gaps. This is about building the next generation Liverpool. So you've got this huge win on the one hand and this massive public fallout on the other. What in the world does this all mean for Liverpool's identity and for the rest of what's already been a pretty chaotic season?
Well, for the new manager, Arne Slot, this is an absolute game changer. Winning in Milan, without Salah, and with that battered and bruised squad, it gives him so much power, so much credibility within the club.
This is way more than just 3 points. It's a validation of his entire approach. It's a powerful statement that says, my methods work, and my authority is not up for debate. He took a huge gamble, and man, did it pay off. And that leaves us with the one massive question at the heart of this whole thing. What are we actually seeing here? Is this an aging superstar who just can't accept that his role is changing? Or is this a new manager completely mishandling the delicate transition of a club icon? Because the answer to that question, that's not just going to decide the future of these two men. It's going to define the very identity of Liverpool Football Club for years to come.